clap?
Yeah, we don't have to clap anymore.
I'm going to miss the clap.
I kind of like that. Well, it sounds bad when you say it that way.
Okay, well, yeah, welcome everyone to GameBusters 2.
The clap.
The sequel.
Yeah, the sequel to this podcast. I'm doing a backup recording on OBS too, just in case. Okay, well, welcome everyone. My name is Nirav, and welcome to. We're using a Zencaster, which is like an online thing that is like recording our voice words as we speak, and it's gonna just give them to me. Oh, nope, Google has heard me, and my microphone is... I'm reading all the words I'm saying on my phone right now. It's still going. I'm afraid to stop, because if I do, then it's going to search for everything that I've said in the last minute.
I was wondering what that noise was in the background. It sounded a little bit, I don't know. I don't even know the word.
I don't know what Google command heard there, because it was like 3 paragraphs there, but it just opened Discord on my phone.
Oh, okay.
You know, it heard the word record and voices, and it was like, Lord knows what this man wants, but let's try this.
Let's do it. So, yeah, I'm gonna, we'll go ahead and I think kick off with some housekeeping. So, Ree is unfortunately not going to be able to do the show regularly anymore, because of work commitments, and mostly the fact that her schedule is not really the same as mine, being that she does not have weekends off and works very long on weekends, for recording and stuff. So she's still going to be on as a guest whenever we can get her. For at the moment, I just kind of like walked around downtown near the river, and I found this woman here. Alyssa, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Alyssa. You guys have probably heard me on the Overwatch podcast, and I believe the Hades podcast.
Yeah, and I think you came on our big mega podcast with 40 people.
That's true. Yeah, I was also on that one.
Yeah, Ashleigh, were you on that one too?
I was.
The
Chaos
Cast.
The podcast to get in. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So Alyssa is going to be taking over as co-host to help me. Hopefully, it'll still be pretty fun, because Alyssa and I have known each other for a few years. From Quidditch, which is maybe funnier than the lie that I found her by the river.
Honestly, like, why didn't we just open it up with that?
Yeah, the truth is often stranger than fiction.
Yeah. I've got some big shoes to fill for sure, but I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to start helping out.
Rhea, if you're listening to this, Alyssa said you have big feet.
No. Rhea, please don't listen to Nirav. Everything he says is lies.
That's true. And even the thing I just said, where I said it was true, that was also a lie.
Oh man.
So yeah. And Ashleigh is here with us today.
I am not co-hosting, just visiting.
Just stopping in.
Just stopping in to see how this goes.
Yeah, and so we'll this podcast has been, adapting, evolving, and changing formats a lot and stuff. So I think we've hit a good rhythm, and so maybe this is a good time to just say, like, how like Fortnite did, Fortnite went offline and then it came back and it was chapter 2. Maybe this is GameBusters chapter 2.
I guess. I mean, let's hope that it's as good as Fortnite.
There's like a big black hole.
Is Fortnite chapter 2 good? I don't know.
I've never played Fortnite.
I don't know. I think they added fishing, I remember, which was big, so probably good.
All I know is that they had that Ariana Grande concert in Fortnite.
And
that was actually pretty dope looking, honestly.
It looked cool. I didn't attend it because I would have to download Fortnite to do that. But
yeah, same.
Was that during the troubles, the bad times here?
That was 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So kind of mid, still going. I mean, we're still here.
We're still in the bad trouble. The bad
trubs. Yeah, the bad trubs.
You're gonna have a bad time. That's all it is. And that's what it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into our intro. So we're just gonna talk about what we've been playing this week, or if you want to toss out TV shows or movies or something you saw, you want to give a shout out, whatever. What you been doing this week? Alyssa, go start us off.
I mean, I haven't been playing any new games. Unfortunately, I've been playing a lot more League. I know. I got a lot of skins for League recently because I got quite a bit of currency, so I want to use the skins. And I've been having fun with that. The Apex servers are finally like semi playable, so I've been trying to play that more. But I still keep getting kicked out like every couple of games, so it's hard to keep wanting to do that.
That's exciting. Are you getting kicked out because you're cheating?
Yeah, it's exactly what's happening.
Wow.
I'm just so good at the game that the whatever their anti-cheat program is thinks that I'm cheating, so it keeps trying to kick me out.
Yeah, weirdly, it's still Riot Vanguard. I don't know. Like, it's still opening up every time.
For Respawn, yeah.
Yeah.
Respawn took Riot Vanguard and
Yeah.
you know.
That fucking program has given me such a nightmare because like I tried to like disable it automatically starting up because like I don't play Valorant that much, like, but I do play it sometimes, and like, so it's just like annoying it because it's on like startup, it's like launching your Valorant anti-cheat. I'm like, I'm not gonna play Valorant for another 4 weeks. Stop it.
Yeah, the anti-cheat system is very
It's obtuse.
yeah, it watches everything. Let's say that.
Also, yeah, I mean, and Valorant, of course, but from Riot Games, owned by Tencent Games, aka Winnie the Pooh himself. Yes, Ashleigh, what have you been doing?
In sort of my ongoing quest to rediscover things that I should have discovered during like childhood or teenagehood, I have been playing a lot of Minecraft this week. I love those cubes. They're good, and they make animals, and I'm really into that. I'm really into sheep as a concept, but made out of
Have you made a
blocks.
golem yet?
No, I'm very bad at it, and I sort of thought it would be more forgiving than it is.
Are you
So
playing
I
on
think
survival?
yeah. Well, I'm playing in somebody else's realm, and
Mm.
they have some hard settings, and I don't mind dying all the time. What I mind is that the text bar consistently shows people how many times I've been dying, and I don't like that. I don't like other people seeing like Ashleigh fell in lava, Ashleigh fell off a tall thing, Ashleigh got killed by golems, not golems,
By
zombies.
golem?
Yeah,
What?
the Hobbit boy, he's in there.
Yeah. Wow,
No,
those are some really cool mods you've got on
no,
there.
the Hobbit boy's not in there. I meant zombies. So I've been doing that, and then strangely enough, that's kind of stressful, which I thought it wouldn't be. So I've been playing some
Okay.
more Breath of the Wild, but as a hiking simulation because I'm done the game and I'm just
You should try Death Stranding. I think
as a
that would
hiking
actually.
simulation.
I think no, it is. I mean, I think you would enjoy it if you're just trying to hike and like chill out a little bit and like
I'm
get
finding
some.
some Korok seeds still. They're
Yeah.
around.
I've
There's a
never
lot of
played
them.
Death Stranding, but I'm pretty sure you're giving Ash a very different
I'm just trying to ease her into it because,
Oh man.
okay, look, I had a friend over at my place yesterday who has like never seen a video game before ever. Like she was like, I was like Mario, and she's like, "Is that the tennis guy?" Like that's where we were, and so
Oh man.
like
Tennis
no,
guy.
but I showed her like some of the Mario like old like Mario Super Mario Bros. And then Mario 64 and then Sunshine and like kind of and then Odyssey, kind of like to show her like the progression of
That's
games
a
over
lot in
time.
one day for someone who's never seen
Well,
the
no,
game
no.
before.
Meaning, like, okay, this is how games have like progressed over time. This is kind of like where we started and where we're at, you know. And like, she was really fascinated by it. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna go for it. And I showed her Death Stranding, like, and had her play it a little bit. And she's like so fucking fascinated by it, and was like, I like she just like was like, no, I need to do this for like an hour, and then was like, I'm gonna go home and see if like the computer that we have can run Death Stranding because like I want to play this game. I want it to be the first video game that I play.
I
Okay,
do
well, I mean,
really kind of sympathize with that though, because like the reason I'm rediscovering all these games is because as a kid they were like things my little brother liked. I was like,
Yeah,
cool.
that's
Anything
yeah.
my brother likes is inherently lame, which means every video game is something I don't want. And like, who would have thunk it? But he had a point. They're pretty cool. And like, yeah. So I think all of this, like, not to like jump the gun here, but the reason you told me to play Undertale is because I was so scared to play games where I had to fight because I had never done it before.
Yeah, and I think it's also a fair thing to say a lot of people don't want to play like overly violent games, and that's totally cool. And like I don't know, I guess that's like a good transition into this like of it being a great I think it's a great game both for people who are like really sucked into like I've played 1,000 hour 1,20,000 hour JRPGs and like I'll be trapped in this forever. And also for like people who are totally new to like the whole idea of video games, like it's just such a weird refreshing thing. And I think it also like I think it does a good job being different than very, very different than what the public perception of what video games are, maybe, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it was my gateway game, and then the pandemic hit, and all of a sudden games were like a thing I did.
Yes. Yeah, I guess for me, I've been quickly. I haven't been playing too much this week. I mostly have been um on that Disco Elysium grind, which is very good. Ash, you would love that game too.
Okay.
You should get it. It's a detective RPG, but there's no like fighting in it, and like
I
all
can
of the
do
stats.
fighting now, though. I've grown as a game person. As long as I can button mash, I'm ready.
Right. Well, no, it's not like you're. Well, that wasn't what I was saying. Like, I'm saying it's like more interesting because there's no combat
that is fair.
in the RPG, and like, it is like all the stats and everything are all about like using your brain and like solving like just dialogue trees of like understanding and talking to people, and like they added a giant update like earlier this year, so every line in the game is voiced, and it's got like crazy good voice acting for everybody you meet, and like you actually have to like legitimately like be smart enough to like solve mysteries because you're like a cop.
Okay.
And it's extremely it's in a world like it's in a parallel fantasy world. It's like not in this world, you know. But so maybe, but there are still some problems with the cops and the unions and everything.
Damn.
And I did my whole like first 3 hours of this game were like talking to people and solving critical race theory with a bunch of fake races and countries, which was like absolutely mind-boggling.
Wow, you solved racism though. That's good.
I did. I was actually on my way to confront the racist man about racism because I solved it, and like legitimately it said like I got like a notification that was like you have solved critical race theory, and I was like you're ready to confront the racist.
That's
and I was like holy shit, I'm ready. And I went over there.
That's what critical race theory is.
Well, no, they went through like a bunch of stuff. Like it's also poking fun at itself. It's very aware of what it's doing. Yeah. But like I went over there and I was like, oh man, I don't have enough energy to confront the racist tonight. I'm gonna just take this call quickly on the radio. And then I died when I answered the radio. And
wait,
nobody had told me that I could die, but apparently if your morale falls low enough, then you just die.
Who knew you could die like that?
I mean, I guess that's sort of realistic.
I guess it is.
Not.
And I lost 45 minutes of game, and then I turned it off. And I'll go. Maybe I'll try again later.
I mean, I do too. When I lose all morale, just kind of,
just sort of fade
keel
away.
over.
Yeah, it's weird because I also lost a lot of morale and died after I lost all that progress. Yeah, and then I have been on that Squid grind.
I really need to watch it.
I watched the entirety of Squid Game in 2 days, and then over yesterday and today, I am almost finished watching the entirety of Midnight Mass. So Netflix is doing well right now.
I've heard really good things about Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass is super good.
I have heard good things about Midnight Mass.
Squid Game is very, very good, and it's really entertaining and addictive. But it's like
know what
not
Squid
gonna.
Game is.
It's like it's not gonna win any Emmys. Is kind of the thing. But like Midnight Mass, like the guy playing the priest, he's got that Emmy fucking locked down. No one's touching that.
Thing is, the Squid Game thing is like very like anti-capitalist, right? Like it's.
Ashley, you're gonna like this. Actually, I remember when you came back from Cuba. You're gonna like this.
I did get really, really.
You did get radicalized in Cuba.
Yes, not in a bad way.
Oh, definitely not. No, absolutely not.
Okay. Quickly. The premise of the Squid Game, and I'm gonna spoil the first episode because the interesting thing.
I've just looked into it. It's got no fucking squids. So.
Okay, no, there are 3 squids in the second episode.
Oh, okay.
Thank God.
I actually got really mad. I was texting a lot of people about that. I was like, there's no fucking squids in this show. And then I love the ending where like the main character looks directly into the camera and he says like, what is this to you? Some kind of Squid Game? And it's like, whoa. That didn't happen. He
didn't have to say it, but he did. He really did.
He said the title. That's a big get.
They do say the title in the last episode, but it's like for a real reason. Okay, so the premise of this basically is that there is this crazy rich organization, which I won't spoil what it is or what they're doing, but they have like all the money in the world, and what they do is they have this facility set up on this island, and there's this guy in a mask who runs the whole thing called the Front Man. And if you know Danganronpa, it's basically Danganronpa with adults, but. The idea is that like they go around and they send agents out to find people who are like in horrible debt, and like this is a Korean show. This is all in Korea. They find people who are in like terrible debt and like need money desperately, and whose like lives are over basically, like that much kind of debt, you know. And they find these people and they tell them like, if you want to like have a chance to win money, like call this number, and then they take you to this island. And so they take all these people. There's like 450 of them at the beginning, and our main character is one of them because he's like a big fucking loser, like deadbeat dad sort of. He's not like evil. He's just like a shitty guy, you know.
Yeah.
And he gets taken there because he owes a lot of money, and his mom needs it for like, you know, the hospital, and like his daughter's being taken away from him, and etc. And so like he goes there, and he's like, they don't know it's a murder game when they get there.
Oh.
And then they're all like dressed in these suits and like put to sleep and taken to this island, and then like thrown out into this game. And so they have to, the first game they play is red light, green light, but they're told like, yeah, just like whenever you like, you know, whenever the robot says like green light, you run, and then when it says red light, stop moving, and if you're moving, you'll be eliminated. And
but eliminated.
right. And so they realize quickly that by eliminated, that means the sniper shoots you in the head the second you move during a red light.
Oh my god.
And then okay, no, so this is not even the interesting part of this, because like they get to the end of this and like maybe half the people survive that ordeal. And like there's a rule in their little rule book that like they're like, if more than half the people vote to leave the games, you can all leave at any time.
Oh, but they want the money.
So it's a very close vote, but they hold a vote, and they get a very very close majority to leave, and so everybody is dismissed, and they take everyone back to civilization and just throw them out on the street. And that's the fascinating thing to me, because like less than a week later, every single one of them comes back.
Oh my god.
Because they all realize that being in debt under like the might of capitalism is worse than death.
Good lord, that's very like heavy-handed.
It's extremely heavy-handed, and it's extremely good. And like the characters are like, the supporting characters are so good. And like now there's also like a side story going on the whole time, because there's this cop who like his brother went missing, and he overhears like Gi-hun, the main character, yelling about like, oh, there's an island with a crazy masked man who's making people kill each other for money. And like the police laugh him out, right? But this guy's like, well, hold on, because he found his brother disappeared, and he found one of those same calling cards in his apartment.
Right.
And so he's like, I'm going to investigate. So he follows them to the island, and he goes undercover as one of the squids, which is what I'm calling the guards. I don't think that they've said if the squids are the guards, or if they're the players, or if they're us, the audience. I'm still...
Oh god.
I don't know.
If we were the squids all along.
So it's not like a televised like game show though. So
no, it's not.
Know that this is happening. So, this is just some guy.
It is fun. It is televised for a specific group of the elite rich around the world who do this, who bet on it for fun.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But it's not like plausible. A known thing. Yeah. It's very plausible, unfortunately. Yeah, they're so rich that like they're, I don't know, like they're the richest people that there could be, and it sucks. They're all very white. I guess that tracks.
Expected. I guess that's the expected outcome.
It's funny because like all the characters in the show are Korean, and then like when like the VIPs, they're called, like the people who like are the running and betting on the games and stuff, are like all these just old white men. Like that tracks, I guess. Oh. Okay. Squid Game, good. It's not like the best show I've ever seen. It's just very addictive, and like it's one of those shows where I can tell that it would definitely not have hit if it was like a week to week thing, you know? Like this is a binging thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm just like worried they're gonna do like an American remake of it or something.
I'm so worried they're gonna do that. Holy shit. Squid, if you don't know this, it's already the most watched show in Netflix history after 2 weeks of being out.
What?
Yes.
Okay, even more than Tiger King, which they
way more than Tiger King.
Oh god.
They said that.
Well, I did not watch the Tigers, and I might watch this. So if
this one has squids in it.
Yeah,
squids better than tigers. Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
At the end, the very last scene of the show is the front man looking directly in the camera and saying like, I guess we were the real squids.
Stop lying and making it sound so jumpy.
Wouldn't that be good though?
No. By definition, no.
Yeah, and Midnight Mass is also extremely good. That one's much more like of a like an actual like It feels like very Oscar Beatty kind of TV show. Do you know what I mean? It's extremely good though.
Mhm.
And like in that one, they do actually say like "Welcome everyone to Midnight Mass," and I was like,
Good.
okay. Let's get into this shit. Everyone, come with me into this into the underworld. Woo!
Yay.
We all dropped in. Hello,
Wow.
everyone.
Hello.
I think I'm gonna be Sans.
Okay. Can I be Flowey?
Yeah, can you do the voice, please?
Oh God, I can't remember what Flowey's voice sounds like. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I
like
don't
a
know what anything.
hello. It's like kind of that kind of a
Oh,
thing.
okay, so like a very high voice like this, kinda.
Yeah, but like a crazy man is voicing him.
So is your
Got
plan
it.
to do the voice the whole time or just
No, I'm just gonna talk like Nirav. I think I was just gonna like kind of squat in my chair
Yeah, I
here.
mean, you're welcome to be, do the whole
Yeah.
look.
I like how even though like you don't actually hear like Papyrus talk, I like that like everyone collectively understands that his voice is like it is me, Papyrus. Like he's
Okay, but
fucking Waluigi.
from what I remember in his chat logs, he literally does say "yeah."
Yeah, he
He
does say
does. He's very proud of himself and his evil
yes.
abilities.
So why don't you guys, as if I am some sort of charlatan who has never heard of this, could you guys pitch me on what this is real quickly? Pretend I'm an internet person and I've only seen memes about Sans Undertale and I don't know anything else about this.
Okay.
I haven't
Sans
played the game in
is
5 years, so I'll let Ash.
admittedly very good. It's been almost 2 years for me, but that's closer. So here we go. All right. Sans is also very good. So you are correct in seeing his memes. They should be memes. All right. You are a child and you are thrust into this world of monsters and loving families who have maybe some dark secrets. You want to play this game
And Butterscotch Pie.
and butterscotch pie, which is the darkest secret of them all. And you don't have to fight if you don't want to. That was what really got me into it. Music is amazing, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a big get. It has sort of that nostalgic, like, two-dimensional vibe, which I enjoy. There's really buff dogs. Love them.
That's true. And you're not wrong there. There are very buff dogs and long dogs.
And long dogs. Yeah.
Okay, that maybe I don't know if that helped anybody, but we'll
It
keep
might not
going.
have helped anyone, and I think that's all right. I can own that.
That's okay. So, Undertale was created by mostly by a guy named Toby Fox. His main partner who contributed to the game besides him is an artist named Temi Chang. Other people contributed in small ways, but largely this was a two-man job. And the two of them worked on this. Like once they had the idea nailed down for what Undertale was going to be, they spent about 3 years working on it before it came out. So honestly, pretty good turnaround time for being a two-person team.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably know Toby Fox from just being around the internet. He's out and about, and I have to ask, and I don't know if either of you were, because like I even might have been like almost too young for this and missed it. But like, do you guys remember Homestuck?
I thankfully didn't get into the Homestuck like crowd. I was more on the Hitalia side, but I remember
That's disgusting.
I know, and I mean, listen, I'm not proud of it, but like I very distinctly remember there being like very large fandoms for like, Homestuck and Hitalia. And I had people attempt to like strong arm me into like enjoying Homestuck, but I could never get into it.
I know the aesthetic of Homestuck. Like if you put it in front of me, like I know what it looks like, but I don't think I got into any of it. No, not at the time.
I was on like Tumblr every day like in high school, and so like I was there for like sort of the I think I missed the peak of Homestuck. I was there for some of it, and I was kind of in it a little while, and then like the Harlequin stuff started and I got out.
Fair.
But anyway, so Toby Fox was a major contributor to Homestuck and was kind of in that from the beginning, and that's kind of where he started doing his stuff. So in 2009, he started doing music for Homestuck, which like wasn't I don't know that I was really into it as far as like looking for the music that was associated and stuff, you know. Because like if anyone doesn't know what Homestuck is, it was originally a webcomic in 2009, created by Andrew Hussey, and I I think it's probably fair to say it just evolved into a subculture.
Mm.
Um, it was extremely big, especially centered around Tumblr for a long time, and I think probably by like 2013, 14, it had kind of like faded away. Um, it was a very specific internet thing that I think you might have had to be there for, and I don't know that I can explain how weird it was in there and how many people were talking about Harlequins and angels.
There's
um,
just it was a lot of weird shit going on, and buckets were a thing, and
yeah,
I'm very glad not to like be able to go
right.
back to that time.
I think it's the same kind of vibe if you were at one time like part of like the Brony group and like got out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, God, I was in an equally like toxic like fandom, so I understand.
Yeah, I was in an equally toxic fandom. I was a big Doctor Who Tumblr person, which was bad. It was bad. Oh
God,
boy,
dude. Oh
those were
man.
bad. Those were dark times. Ashleigh, what's your dark internet secret?
I don't think, well, so librarian mother and not a lot of like unsupervised internet access until I got to college. So I think at that point my like propensity to join intense fandoms had sort of faded. Like I wasn't even allowed to have a Neopet. Like there was
Oh
No.
no,
it was yeah, because like adults could talk to you and groom you on there according to the
on
librarian.
Neopets?
That's
On
what I've been told.
Neopets.
I have no evidence one way or another for that.
And I'm sure it could happen, but like
I
it's
think
not
it
the
would
place
be
I would expect it
challenging
to.
because like there is no pictures of you. It is just
It's just a
Neopet.
Neopet, yeah.
Yeah.
But I
So
guess the
I
expectation is that like anyone on there is probably going to be under the age of 16.
so yeah, I'm trying to think. I got super into the whole like suit like I feel like 2015, 2016 I was like very much a Bernie bro, which is sort of a part of my life that I look back on with like a little cringe. But that was like the closest to internet like fandom I got into.
Yeah, but like I mean, I think we all did that. So,
For
Yeah,
real.
I
and
yeah.
anyway, and we
But
were
no
rewarded with
doctor.
our efforts with the pandemic.
Love it.
So Homestuck is anyway. Toby Fox got his start there, and eventually kind of moved on from that, and has since composed music for a lot of different things. He worked on the music for the video game Hive Swap, of course for Undertale and Deltarune. He wrote all that music himself, and he also wrote music for Game Freak's 2019 RPG called Little Town Hero, which was a not a good game, good soundtrack though. And crazily enough, Toby Fox composed a song for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and it is in the game. Can you imagine shit posting so good that you get to write music for Pokemon?
I mean, when you make good music, you make good music. You could be a shit poster and still like get big. I
Yeah.
mean, isn't that what happened to Little Nas?
Oh,
That
that's
is
true.
true. He was like a big Nicki Minaj stan, right?
Something like that. He was super like big on memeing on the internet and then just became rich and famous. I
Yeah.
love it.
Proud of
Fair.
him.
I'm proud. So anyway, he set out to develop a new game with interesting characters and stuff that he wanted to like. So he was a fan of RPGs to some extent, but he kept finding them like boring to play because he felt they were too formulaic. Like there were concepts about RPGs that you could always expect to show up again, and the one that really caught his eye as the model of what RPGs should be was Earthbound. So I don't know that have y'all had any experience with that series? Because I super don't.
I
Like
don't
No.
I know
either.
of it, but like okay, so in Japan there was a game called Mother, and then there was there are three games called Mother 1, 2, and 3, and Mother 2 was the only one that was localized for the US, and they released that as Earthbound. I don't know. Um and they never Mother 3 has never made its way over to the US or been translated. So it still only came out in Japanese on like the Super Nintendo. It's been like 25 years, right? So people are still waiting on that localization. Reggie has it. You know Reggie? He has it.
He's got it. He's sitting on it. Yeah.
Yeah, he said he has it like 8 years ago and we're still waiting.
God.
But anyway, um So anyway, like Nintendo released Earthbound like a long ass time ago, and it's a big like cult hit. And I have no doubt that if they released like Mother 3 or what
Oh,
Earthbound 2, whatever it would be
they're in the
called.
Super Smashes.
Yeah,
They're
you
over
know Ness
there.
and Lucas, they are right in there. Yeah, that's
I
where they
have
come
seen
from.
this game. I just have not. Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fair. It was not big, and it's very easy to miss because it's so
I
old.
was allowed to play Super Nintendo as a child, so I should have found it. But
Right, because adults couldn't groom you through that.
no, they couldn't. It's very challenging.
That would have been challenging. So he said that he wanted to work with a story that would utilize the medium as a storytelling device instead of having the story and the gameplay abstractions be completely separate. This is a really interesting concept that I've talked about on the show before, called ludonarrative dissonance, which is a good name for your band if you want to use that.
Thank you.
Welcome. So this concept of ludonarrative dissonance is the idea that the gameplay informs the story of a game, and the story informs the gameplay. So a great example of doing badly at this is Cyberpunk 2077. Which I think just saying a bad example might make the concept make more sense, because that game has a story. The story of that game and the narrative is all about like taking down the corporations, fuck the police. I'm out here like on that grind. Just trying to fuck things up, anarchy all the way. And but like most of the missions in the open world are just like doing jobs for the police and for the big companies. And it's like, you guys missed like the one thing about Cyberpunk. Is like, fuck the police. It's like,
Mhm.
anyway. So Toby Fox wanted to work on a game that would have a very, very connected story and gameplay element. And so they launched this on Kickstarter. I don't know if anyone was there for that. I remember the Kickstarter being launched for a game. I did not know anything about it, but I remember when this was on Kickstarter, because there was just a picture of Sans like dancing or whatever, and I was like, this guy, he's gonna be big. I know it. Yeah, so they ended up they were shooting to raise $5,000 to assist with development, which is a very small amount of money,
Yeah, to
and
make a
like
whole
Truly.
game.
maybe like pays for like 1 month's salary for 2 people. And anyway, they raised $51,000, which is more reasonable. Still is like not like a ton for a whole video game though. That like pays for like half a year of development maybe.
Especially since they worked on it for 3 years.
Yeah. So he worked on the game independently largely, and Temi Chang, of course, contributed a lot of the art, the concept designs for the characters, and the sprites. So if he said there's an interesting thing about how he designed the characters, though, or how they designed the characters. Toby Fox said there is a psychological thread that says audiences become more attached to characters drawn simply rather than in detail. I thought this was interesting. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
I had never heard that. I guess like you can project your own self onto a simple character more.
That's possible. I feel like characters drawn with like the like less definition and like pixel art and stuff are maybe I don't know, like when in like the old Mario, when Mario like jumps, like do you feel like you're jumping?
Is it a matter of like feeling what the character feels, or is it a matter of like, I don't know, like, because I feel like when I watch like animated series, like I feel a lot more attached to those characters than I do with like live action series sometimes. So I mean, like I think maybe the simplistic aspect, like Ash
Are you
said,
saying
like
that
where
anime people are just real people drawn badly?
no, I mean no,
I mean,
I mean,
drawn in
drawn
general.
by God badly.
By definition, they are like less. Like you can't get as much detail in an anime as you do to like a human. Humans have nuance that I think a drawing can't quite capture.
and I think like drawings also kind of like come with I don't know, maybe less like flaws. So they kind of come with like a more idealized form, which I know is weird to say because like you would imagine with more detail that would make more sense. But like if you can project if you can project more feeling onto it, then I guess like what you would see like when you see other people, like you kind of like make these judgments maybe not like intentionally about like their looks, but like with 3D characters or like 2D characters, like I feel like it's a lot easier to not project those thoughts onto them, if that makes any sense.
Let's say it does, because we got to move on.
Oh god.
Okay, I've never read this so-called psychological concept though.
Yeah,
so,
I don't
mean,
know.
I'll buy it because he seems like a smart dude, but I've never heard
Yeah.
about it.
So I kind of agree with it.
So, he said that there were a lot of inspirations for this game. The Mario and Luigi RPG series were really integral. I have not played any of the games in that series, and I know I'm gonna get crucified by gamers for that. But have y'all played any of those?
If not, I think they were brought up in the Chaos 40-person podcast, though, weren't they?
They might have been,
We
yeah.
talked about them.
Possibly.
They're well known and well regarded RPGs. I don't know. I don't know. I know those are really beloved, and so I'm sorry, but I'm just giving a shout out. So the bullet hell stuff was inspired by the Toho Project series, which is kind of like old school bullet hell games. When working out on the battle system, Fox wanted to create like a mechanic that he enjoyed, which was good. He's like, I want to like this game. I don't care about other people, which I like. I think that's cool. So he kind of took inspiration from Super Mario RPG, Square Enix's game from 1996, and then Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. He did not want people to ever have to grind because he thinks it sucks, which he's right. He's correct. So he left it optional to players. You can grind if you want to, but it doesn't really help you in any way.
Mm-hmm.
And he also didn't add any fetch quests because they would involve backtracking, which he does not want people to ever do, which is nice. So the dialogue system of speaking with the demons, or the monsters in the game, was inspired directly by Shin Megami Tensei, which of course later would become the Persona series. So yeah, you can see the line. I think you can draw the line there of where that came from, of just like chatting with these demons during battle and being like, hey, you wanna actually join my team instead? And they're like, oh, interesting. Have y'all played any of the games in that series?
Unfortunately not.
Cool.
I tend to be a first-person shooter type of person.
If we added a gun to Persona, would you play it?
Yes, probably.
They actually have guns, so I tricked you.
Oh god, true. Okay, so I guess I gotta go play Persona now.
Yeah. They do literally all the characters have a different kind of gun, and Ryuji even has like a machine gun. It's great.
Stop the podcast. She has to go get Persona.
Yeah, I hope you have 100 hours to dedicate.
Oh god, I wish.
I love that game so much, but like I cannot like I will not like force anybody to play a 100-hour game. Like it just like I understand it's insane to ask that of somebody.
If I wasn't a corporate slave, I would love to invest 100 hours into Persona. However,
Which is ironically a game about not being a corporate slave.
God damn it.
So anyway, the concept of fighting, the concept of like the genocide and the pacifist run for this game came from a little game called Moon RPG Remix Adventure from 1997. So that game was originally released only in Japan, and it actually only came to the US last year. About 23 years later.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I did play a few hours of it last year. I did not understand anything that was happening. But having looked at a fan translation from a long time ago, he was inspired by this idea that fighting is evil, and you're gathering this thing called LV, which is, in that game, like everyone thinks is like leveling up, and it's actually like big evil or some acronym, whatever. I don't know. Big little evil. No, that's not even right. Little
villain.
Little villain. So the world of Undertale was
Level of violence.
Level of violence.
There we go.
I googled it though. I didn't.
Jesus.
I'm doing a pacifist. I'm doing a pacifist run, so I have nothing. I have 0 of those. I have 1.
That was a really nice humble brag you stuck in there.
Yeah. Well, I say I'm doing. I just stopped. I couldn't kill the big King Dad, so I stopped.
Right. I couldn't kill King Dad either. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Like, I have not technically finished Undertale because I couldn't beat Flowey was my problem.
I couldn't get past Sans, to be honest. So like
I did not do a genocide run, so I definitely would not have been able to beat Sans.
That's fair. Thing is, my genocide run was unintentional.
You unintentionally killed everybody?
No, I
You
mean,
unintentionally kill your mother.
well, that was the point. I accidentally killed Toriel in the beginning.
Oh, I did too.
No, but listen, I felt bad, and I tried to restart, and I started a new game, and Fly was like, haha, nope, you cannot have your sins forgiven. We know what you did. So I had to
Oh my
just play
God.
through it.
I had sort of a tragic backstory because I like killed Toriel because I thought I had to. I couldn't like get her to
Same.
stop. And then I was like, I'm lost. I must kill everything I see now. I'm a lost soul.
It hurts so much.
So the world, he cited a bunch of different stuff as inspiring. Mostly the game Brandish, but also he said Mr. Bean was a heavy inspiration for for Sans and Papyrus's antics.
Huh, okay.
Which I think was very fun, and of course heavily influenced by Earthbound. I'm imagining Sans like or like maybe more like Papyrus, like like coming to like a party and then like tripping and like maybe sliding down a big staircase on a briefcase and like knocking over the hostess into a big punch bowl or
I think
something.
because Papyrus takes himself more seriously, that fits
Yeah,
better.
I think that makes sense. So he said, I wanted to make the game's monsters feel like an individual. He cited the Final Fantasy series as the opposite, saying all monsters in RPGs like Final Fantasy are the same, and there's no meaning to that. So dunk. Big dunk on Final Fantasy there. Good. So Toriel, who was one of the first characters that you meet, was created as a parody of tutorial characters, very specifically a parody of Fi from The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword.
Goat Mom. I love her so much.
I miss my goat mom. I'll say it. I'm not ashamed.
I'm
I shouldn't be
sorry
ashamed.
that y'all murdered your goat moms.
Stop.
I can still miss her. I can like.
I didn't do it on purpose. I swear.
The only reason I didn't, I think, is because Nirav really emphasized. He was like, "I'm not giving you any hints, but you don't have to kill anyone."
Yeah, no, I said that like in like all caps like 9 times. Like I'm not gonna look, and I'm not gonna spoil this for you, but here are some spoilers.
You didn't. You just said you don't have to kill anyone, which I guess is a spoiler, but I appreciated it for like
good.
my own mental well-being.
Yeah.
Is when you do play the oh my god, the genocide runs, like they make you feel so guilty.
It's so fucking awful. And like also I want to just comment, like the genocide runs are like really short, like cuz like the more like cuz like if you kill people, then like more and more people like later in the game just like run away and just aren't there, and so there's no quests or stories or people to talk to or anything to fight. And like
I will say that without any LVs, it's very hard to fight King Dad. So I don't know. There are downsides.
Yeah, if you could pick
Just stop.
who do you want on your team, Goat Mom or King Dad?
Goat Mom.
Goat Mom has more snacks, which I'm a big fan of, and is less moody overall.
The guilt is there. I need her on my team, and she thinks she can stop Goat Dad, I think, so.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be good to have.
Fox also felt that the role-playing video games generally lacked mother characters, because in games like Pokemon or like Mother/Earthbound, he felt that the mothers were kind of just like symbols rather than characters. And so he created Toriel to be a mom that acts like a mom and cares about the player's actions like a mom would.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, shout out, because there really aren't a lot of moms in video games.
It's sort of a Disney trope of like, you can't have a big adventure if you have a mom, so Disney movies always like kill her off. And
seriously, God, I'm glad.
It's like, I'm sick of every video game like being like a gruff dad has to rescue his daughter. Like I'm so done with it.
I guess I kind of accidentally followed the Disney trope by killing off my goat mom before the game even started.
And then you tragically have to fight your father at the end and kill him.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. Shout out. There's just literally just very few moms in video games, and like Toriel's a cool one. Papyrus and Sans, or Sans, I'm gonna say Sans, were like probably the most iconic part of this game. They are obviously named after, fonts, the font in which they speak, which I think is very fun. And they're both listed as being inspired by J.N. Weedle, who is the author of Helvetica, which is a webcomic series about skeletons named after the Helvetica font.
Oh my God.
Which is this guy was so deep into it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Papyrus was in particular was conceived as a sketch in Toby Fox's notebook. He was originally a mean-spirited character named Times New Roman and wore a fedora.
I'm so glad he's Papyrus now.
Like, couldn't they have a third one? That would have been so fun.
This is our brother, Times New Fedora.
Wait, isn't there like, don't they have like a dad or something, or an older brother that you can like find?
I think they mention having another brother, but I don't think you see them ever.
Well, because I remember on Tumblr people used to like post about him all the time, and I never like found out how to find him in the game.
I'm gonna look quickly. Papyrus third brother. Hold on.
It's either their brother or their dad or something.
Is there a third brother?
There should be. I'm like positive, unless like this is some sort of fever dream, and I like imagine
or some sort of like Tumblr canon that's not.
Yeah, I don't see anything about a third brother. I'm gonna just like type in dad here. I typed in.
It was Gaster. Gaster. That was the name.
Gaster is the dad
is
of
that a font?
Papyrus and Sand.
Oh wait, it says they were the royal scientists before Alphys, responsible for creating Core. Gaster's followers relay various explanations as to what happened to Gaster. I don't know why I assumed this was like okay, no, they're associated with Sans for some reason. Just looking at their Wikipedia page.
I'm on the Fandom Wiki forums right now, which is a bad place to be. I'm gonna just close this. Let's just say that. Let's say yes. So as far as the soundtrack, of course, we have to talk about, because like this is legitimately still one of my favorite game soundtracks ever. Like, it is pretty much universally beloved. Won tons of awards for the music, and Toby Fox actually composed everything himself with FL Studio, and he's actually a self-taught musician. He just kind of played around till he made very good music, and he composed all these tracks with very little iteration. He actually like he basically like used the first draft of every one of the songs that you hear, except for the main theme, Undertale. So hilariously, I did not know this, Megalovania actually was not developed for Undertale.
What?
He actually created it for Homestuck.
It's like the most iconic music or most iconic song in the game. Oh my god, I can't believe it wasn't supposed to be meant for Undertale.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, and it's actually supposed to be. It was actually also used in an Earthbound ROM hack that he made as well.
Okay.
So this is also really cool, and I don't know that I've ever heard this before. Toby Fox actually composed the music for each section of the game before visually designing it, because he said that would give him an idea of what it was supposed to vibe like.
I like that a lot. That's a very cool concept.
It is very cool, because music is almost always like the last things that are done for the game development process are the music and the voice acting, almost always. So it's really cool to see it done the other way. And really is only an achievable thing when you're like a one-person team, you know?
Yeah.
So the soundtrack has obviously been well received and has actually sold quite a few copies on its own. It's shout out to some of those songs, like the Ruin song always makes me sad, like bum bum bum.
Oh.
Bum, bum. I love the last theme too when you're fighting King Dad. It's because it's like
all of his name. We should stop.
I've forgotten his name.
Asgore?
Azeroth?
It's Asgore.
Yeah.
Asgore. Azeroth is where World of Warcraft takes place. So yeah. Anyway, even if you don't intend to play this game, check out some of the music, because like obviously you've heard the song Megalovania before, but even Bone Trestle is very good, the Papyrus song.
The game came out like 7 years ago at this point, right? I still listen to Megalovania.
I think it was 2015, so that would have been, how many years ago was that? Six? Can't even tell.
Lost all concept of time with the pandemic.
Right. Ooh, Spider Dance, also very good.
Ooh, the spiders are good.
I love.
Anyway, check out the music. Yeah, it's very good. I regularly, I semi-regularly listen to the soundtrack of this game. So, and it was released on September 15th, 2015, for PC and Mac, and then the next year for Linux. And he was like interested in releasing Undertale on other platforms, but he said it wouldn't work on the Wii U without reprogramming it, because the Wii U didn't support the engine that he used.
Mm-hmm. Plus, it was the Wii U.
Plus, it was the Wii U, and they sold 9 of them, and I had one. Did anyone else have one of those 9?
I did not.
No, I did not also.
Interesting. Yeah. I feel like there are a lot of Wii U apologists out there now who are like, "Oh, it actually wasn't that bad. It was pretty bad." I had one. I was there from day
Yeah,
one.
I mean, I think your opinion on that is more valid than ours because you experienced, the whole.
Yeah. The thing is, like, it had so many great games on it, but like, also they were like maybe like 1 or 2 games came out a year for it, but they were all great.
So when did the Wii U come out?
2012.
Okay, so that was a while ago. I was never really much of a handheld gaming person to begin with, so I guess that would make sense that I didn't have one.
It was just like, imagine if your Switch weighed like as much as 5 Switches and was 3 times as bulky and was made of cheap plastic, and then also didn't work if you moved too far away from your TV.
Makes sense in 2012, I guess, or 2013.
Anyway, so but when the Switch was announced, he was like, I can get on that, and immediately began working on a PS4 and a Switch port, which came out in 2017 and 2018 respectively. The Switch version came out with exclusive content, actually, which I don't know if anyone's seen in like Let's Plays or anything.
I don't have it on my Switch.
So there's an anime that like Alphys keeps talking about. I can't remember what it's called. Do you know what I'm talking about, though?
I know what you're talking about. I don't.
It's like Miss Muffet or something weird like that. Anyway, like you fight the character from the anime that she's always talking about.
Okay.
Which is pretty fun. So, and then it finally came out on Xbox a few months ago. So, good work, Xbox.
They made it.
You guys figured out how to run Undertale on there. So yeah, it received pretty universal critical acclaim, came out with a 93 on Metacritic, which is quite good. Sold about 1 million copies in its first year, and to date has sold about 5 million, which is actually kind of low considering how big this game is. But I think a lot of it does go back to like what we were talking about with like a lot of fans of this game have not played it.
That's interesting.
It's one of those games that got very popular by just watching Let's Plays of it, and like I've watched several. Like I've watched the Game Grumps do it, and like they did the Steam Train one like years and years ago, and like I've watched some other people play it as well. Like it's just a very watchable game to watch other people play and like not miss too much of the experience. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, like going through the story itself, I think is one of the like more like memorable aspects of it, because especially if you're not like the type of person that can get through the big boss fights, because I genuinely don't think most people have finished the game.
No, like 9 people did, and they were the same people that owned Wii U's.
But you didn't finish the game, Nirav, and you owned a Wii U. It's not right.
Because I gave away my Wii U.
Oh, I see. I almost like doing this makes me want to go back and give it another go because I so close to finishing the game. Just like for the sake of my own like sanity, do I need to have the check mark in my own brain,
So yeah, like if anyone's not like completely familiar with what we've been talking about with the genocide run and stuff, I should explain that.
Yeah,
I was thinking about that. That's a very
it's a strong word, and I don't know. That's the one where what's the game is though.
Yeah.
So there's 3 ways to run the game. You can do a pacifist run where you do not kill anybody, and that is extremely difficult, but it is kind of the way you're supposed to do it the first time.
Especially if you accidentally kill somebody the first time you encounter a monster. Sorry, go on. I'm gonna cry about this for the next like couple months.
The pie is still on the table that she made.
Oh no!
I'm choking on my drink, but also tears. Okay, so there's the
Jesus Christ.
Okay, take a deep breath.
I'm gonna get water.
Take a deep breath.
Talk about something.
Who's your favorite Undertale character? Let's go with that one.
Oh, shit. I should know her name. But she's very cool. She's a fish lady.
Undyne. I fucking love Undyne. She was also going to be my favorite.
Damn it. We can't have a favorite.
Yes, we can. She's great. She's
also
fabulous.
like the little kid who helps me hide from her. That's a good little kid.
Oh, which one is that?
He's like a dog child.
Oh wait, are you talking about Temmie? No, Temmie owns the shop, right?
No, yeah. He just like so you're
It's
you're
like some
trying
sort
to
of a
run
dog
around
child
from
in the grass.
like, keep drinking water, you're not okay. It is a dog child in the grass.
Okay. I just loved Undyne and Alphys, like the way they interacted with each other too.
I did love that too.
They were fantastic.
Alphys makes me anxious because I feel like she needs. Oh, it's her.
Okay.
The kid's name is Monster Kid, which I would not have remembered.
That's
Not a
so
good
creative.
name.
Such a creative name.
Okay, I have to say this, like, and maybe this is gonna get me canceled on the internet, but I did not like Alphys very much. I think she's kind of
Alphys makes
shitty.
me anxious because I feel like she expects like. I don't know. I feel like she has emotional
She's
needs
just,
that
like,
I, the child, cannot give her.
The child.
Undyne should provide those for her.
Yeah.
Well, like, okay, I think Undyne can do better. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you want
you're
Undyne for yourself? Is that why you're saying that?
No, she can do better than me too.
right.
But no, I really like her. I think it's interesting that like so there's like this, I don't think I saw this written by Toby Fox anywhere, but there's like a common understanding that the reason that fighting Undyne is so hard, like such a difficulty spike, because it's kind of to communicate the idea that she is supposed to be like the thing that gets you to stop playing the game and like protect the kingdom from you. Like on the genocide run, which I think is cool.
But you should explain the neutral genocide and pacifist runs.
Yeah, so if you don't kill anybody the entire time, which is again very difficult to do, but you basically like reason your way through stuff like, you know, Persona style with these monsters. And I'm not okay. Okay. And then you die.
Don't tell me that I haven't died yet.
No, I'm dying.
Take a deep breath, please.
I just got so excited about Sans Undertale. So, he got it. He's in Smash Bros.
Look, they made him into a sex icon on the internet. Please don't talk about him this way.
Why would they do that?
Because Tumblr is fucking insane.
Because people are sexually excited about this weird small skeleton.
Why is he so squat?
Okay, so anyway, in the pacifist run you don't kill anybody. There's a neutral run where you kill some enemies, and that's kind of the one most people do on the first run, just by nature of how you play games.
Is it a neutral run? Oh wait, just kidding. I was about to explain the ending of the neutral run, so I'm not going to go forward with that.
Yeah, So the genocide run is where you kill every single person in the game, and so every single monster you have to hunt them all down mercilessly and kill them. And it is a much shorter game on that run. I think even if you like, if depending on how long it takes you to fight Sans, it's like, it's only a few hours long game. Because as you play the game, the word spreads about a terrible force of evil coming through the land, and people just run and evacuate before you get there, and there's no game. Until you get to Sans is like the final boss of the genocide run, and it's such a sad conversation because it's like, you know, like I think like he's like, you know, we could have been friends in another life, sort of a thing, and then he's like, you're gonna have a bad time, and then it's the hardest boss battle ever made. And you can go to sans.com right now if you want to practice.
Huh.
It's actually like there's actually a website where you can practice the fight. Let me see what it's called.
Just like watching other people do those fights.
It's called like, Bad Time Simulator.
Such a bad time.
But yeah, you can practice doing it there if you'd like. It is extremely difficult, and I've never tried it because I've never gotten that far in the genocide run because I felt so bad. But
if you really want to have a bad time, just go watch somebody do the run through of the Sans boss fight and just like cry about it. It's sad to watch.
Oh, and like fucking we didn't even mention Metaton.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I know him.
And his wonderful legs.
They're great. You have to compliment them a lot in the As
Definitely
you
a narcissist. We love
dodge
him.
everything to pacifist and avoid hurting him, you just compliment his legs constantly.
I like how they like kind of glisten.
That's good. That he'd love to hear it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of fun, really colorful characters. This is sort of like an anti-RPG, and there are going to be some shades of Pokemon in it. There are some shades of Earthbound, but like it does a really cool job kind of deconstructing the idea of an RPG, and at the same time as using its own systems and stuff. So it is a really cool game. I think that like I don't love the bullet hell stuff a lot because I'm bad at it.
I'm very bad at it. That is the biggest advantage to pacifist is that until the very end, you kind of can avoid doing any bullet hell stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, you can avoid
then
most
when
of
you have to do it, you're very, very bad at it because you've never tried it.
Yeah, and so there's we should talk quickly about Deltarune, which is a new game that Toby Fox has been making in chapters. So chapter 2 just dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 1 was 3 years ago. I remember when it came out because I like downloaded a mystery exe file to my desktop. Like, because like when he dropped that first chapter, he didn't even say what it was. He was just like he just like uploaded like on his website like an unnamed exe file. It's like download this into your computer, and I was like, yes,
Anything for you.
anything, Toby. And Deltarune's very cool. It is a parallel story. It's an alternate universe retelling of, not retelling even. It's a whole different story with different characters. Some of them are the same, but it's kind of it's a different universe.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool and a little bit darker than Undertale in a weird way.
I will say I have not played any part of Deltarune. Could you explain the plot of it a little bit? Like, at least from what you've played?
So, I've only played chapter 1, but essentially you play... Oh, man, the opening's so good because you go through this character creator, right? And it's like, like, make your choice. Like, is your character, like, sad, frightened, whatever? Like, and you make all these choices for, like, spend, like, 15 minutes building your character, and it's like, is this you? And it's like, yes. Like, is this really who you are? And it's like, yes. And then it says good, and then it just deletes the character, and it says, in this world you cannot choose who you are. You work with what you are given. And it's like,
I love how self-aware like the Undertale, and then I guess like if Deltarune is kind of following that same thing. I love how self-aware the game is.
It's very good. And it makes you this character called Chris, and Kris, and you're just a young woman dropped into this world, and your goat mom is still there. Toriel is actually still your mom, but actually your mom now. And you go to school, and there's a bully there, Susie, who's like a horse lady monster. Okay. And she's like, whatever, anarchy reigns supreme, like she just like she's like that person, like her answer to everything is like, whatever. And Dr. Alphys is your teacher. And yeah, and you and Susie have to go to the go get more chalk from the closet, and when you go in there, the door disappears behind you and you fall into this other world, and the two of you... So this is a world, you are somebody from a world of monsters that falls into another world, another monster world.
Okay.
And it's mostly, the first chapter is about the two of them trying to get out, and Susie is kind of like a little bitch, and so she actually becomes evil pretty early on, and you have to fight her.
Oh, okay.
You make a new group of friends who like help you adventure through and try to escape from the underworld.
Bye, Susie, I guess.
Yeah, it's a real Naruto Sasuke situation. Yeah, it's a good game. The biggest difference from Undertale is that there's no bullet hell stuff, and it is like kind of ordinary turn-based combat.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have a party. It's party-based combat too. You have a party of characters with their own like weapons and attacks and spells and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, it's a really interesting story. I liked it a lot. I like the characters. I've heard that chapter 2 is like phenomenal. Because chapter 1 was like, all right, this is cool. I'll see what comes out. But people have said chapter 2 is like amazing.
Okay. I've seen a lot of like memes start coming up about it again since chapter 2 just dropped. The Chris, where the hell are we meme.
Yeah, that one. Like, Chris, where the hell are we? Because I think they get out at the end of the last one, and then they're back, and they're like, where the hell are we? And it's just like they're in Narnia or something.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry.
Ashleigh, did you just fall into the underworld?
Yeah, I did just now.
Oh, how is it?
It's darker than it used to be. Not than the underworld. Yeah, it's dark down here.
Okay, that's bad.
Sorry, my cat jumped on my laptop as expected.
Sounds like a bad time.
Yep. So yeah, let's wrap it up. Is there anything else you want to throw out about this game?
I really liked Napstablook as well. That was the ghost character. You can go to Napstablook's house. I think if you go to the refrigerator, they offer you a sandwich. And you eat the ghost sandwich, and then they offer to like lay on the ground and feel like garbage with you. So if you lay down and feel like garbage, like the entire room like turns into a galaxy. It's a really cool.
How do I go to his house? That sounds amazing.
I can't remember where Napstablook's house is.
I want to get blazed with Napstablook.
I think it's near Undyne's house. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's and also the Temmies. We forgot the Temmies.
Oh, the Temmies.
I'm Tammy.
Oh.
Welcome to Tammy Village.
That was so loud. So loud.
I mean, they are Temmies.
That's true. No, it was accurate.
Yeah, and of course, Temmie's being the creator of the Temmie Chang herself.
True.
Basically just made herself into a Pokemon and threw 40 of them into a village, which is really good.
The best self-insert you could have in a video game, I think.
Yeah.
It really is.
All right, so I've got to head out. We'll wrap it up here. Thank you guys for joining us. We are you can find us on Twitter at GameBustersPod, and I'm at Gondizi on Twitter. Alyssa, where are you?
My Twitter handle should be Go Ballistic. That would be spelled.
It's super good because it has your name in it. Anyway,
I know. I started using it when I was 12.
It's really good. Jeez, use it. It's better than Ashleigh's.
Hey, it's
Rude.
Hydraulically because it's my hydrologist Twitter. So hit me up on Google Scholar.
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna go make a Google Scholar account right now.
I don't think you can do that.
Damn it.
I don't think that's how it is. I don't think
man.
I'm on Google Scholar yet. Someday.
I thought you were on a thing.
I don't know.
It's the new social media platform, guys. Get ready for it.
Yeah. It's called Scholar without the A at the end.
Scholar.
It's SCHOLR.
It's like Grindr.
Okay, I was thinking of Tumblr, but it is also like Grindr.
Huh.
It's sort of a network for gay academics to find each other.
I love that for them.
I really love that, actually.
It's really specialized. Okay. So yeah, let's close out. Does anyone have a last word that they want to say to kind of take us out of here? Really capture all of what Undertale is all about.
Oh man. I should have thought about this beforehand.
Mm-hmm. No, it's supposed to come to you in the moment. Ashleigh, what are you feeling right now at this moment?
Oh, I'm just a visitor. I didn't think I had to.
That's exactly what your character says in Undertale.
I am just a visitor. I see.
That wasn't good either.
It wasn't supposed to be good. Nirav, It was
Okay.
supposed to prompt Alyssa to say something better.
Yeah, did it work?
No.
I think just scrap the whole podcast.
I think if you listen to this
point,
I think if you listen to this podcast, you're gonna have a bad time. We'll end it there.
There we go.
That's a good one.
All right. It was just like, imagine if your Switch weighed like as much as 5 Switches and was 3 times as bulky and was made of cheap plastic, and then also didn't work if you moved too far away from your TV.